there's got to be something different, right? I mean, and I'm constantly working at my craft, and I'm constantly trying to go for the next thing and then find the next idea and perfect what I do, or go in some sort of direction. So I think there are noticeable differences between the sound, but it's obviously still me. You know, it's still my personality. It's still my perspective. I think the production has taken a step up. I think it's gone in a certain place that I'm happier with. That was something I was looking for. I was trying to figure out how can I make this super dense music and not have it just sound like pure chaos. How can I make it sound like it was orchestrated? And I learned a lot, I think, over the last 5 years doing different records and doing different projects. And I think lyrically I just kind of decided that I would try and narrow it in a little bit and try and really be a little bit more succinct and a little bit more focused in on what I was trying to say, as opposed to the sort of long rant that I normally do, you know, which I did all my life, which was just like, I would go 50 bars, you know. Company Flow was like, fuck it, I'm rhyming for 5 minutes straight, you know. No, and if there's a meaning to it, I'll find it by the end of the rhyme, you know. And I went into this record with each song really knowing what I wanted to do, so I think that kind of made a difference. But again, you know, this is all just small shit that I know about it, but it's really, I don't have objective ears, you know. It's really up to the people who listen to the music, I think. You know, I did feel a little bit of pressure with this record. It kind of felt like, all right, 5 years has gone by. Either I'm going to come out with a record that people are going to respect and that they're going to think is a real progression from where I was, or I'm going to just seal my fate and it's going to be it. No one's going to, you know what I mean? That was part of my mind frame. I felt that way. I didn't really let it affect what I was doing musically, except for just working my ass off to make the best record I possibly could. And I think I mean, it has been received really well. So I'm very pleasantly surprised and happy with the outcome. I got the same records that everyone else got when they first started producing, you know. But I also, my tastes have ranged, you know, and I don't sample as much directly anymore as I do take influence and ideas and try and incorporate things that I hear in other people's music and see if I can add it to hip-hop and see if I can bring it and do it in a good way. So, you know, I'm hugely inspired by, like, you know, film scores, and hugely inspired by a lot of sort of progressive rock from the 60s and 70s, and I'm hugely inspired by what I grew up on in the 80s, like, you know, everything from the whole Def Jam roster to like Devo and the Police and Art of Noise, and, you know, it's just kind of all around me. And I try and create new music. I don't really, you know, I do sample a lot. I make sample-based records, but it's small bits that I try and piece together and create different sounds with, you know. I think that throwing different things, throwing live performance over sample performance and manipulating them and, you know, and putting them back together again is just makes for a strange and unique sound. And I'm always looking for new sonic sort of experiences, you know, and trying to create them. And I spend a lot of time trying to get the perfect effect and you know, so I'm a bit of a nerd when it comes to that. I just look for people who have voices, you know, who have their voice, and there are a lot of people that are down with Def Jux that I haven't put them out yet because they're developing, you know, and I think that I just look for someone who's in touch with who they are and who has a direction with their music, whatever it may be, and who has someone who sounds like they have a vision, you know, and then it comes down to personal taste. If the shit makes me nod my head, and if I smile when they say things, and, you know, it's really just sort of my personal, you know. And sometimes people don't share my tastes, you know, but it's because my tastes are all over the place. They vary, you know. Yeah, you know, it's that's basically it, you know, combination of those things. And if I think they're cool people, you know, I don't like to get down with assholes, because it's just, hell, you know. I mean, it's classic Aesop Rock. I think it's what Aesop Rock fans really wanted, you know. It's I think a return to a more relaxed, sort of poetic Aesop Rock. The production is mostly handled by Blockhead. I did a beat on there. Ace did some beats on there. It's just classic. It's just a really good Aesop Rock record, you know. I think he's one of the quintessential artists who clearly has a vision of what he's trying to do, and he has his sound and what he's going for, and I think that, you know, kids really appreciate that about him, and it's a great record, you know. It's a really great record. I think that the recording industry of America are a bunch of fucking Orwellian thugs who have completely lost contact with what it means to be involved in the culture of music. And their first reaction to kids not buying records isn't, holy shit, maybe we're not putting out good records. Their reaction is, you're a criminal, and I'm gonna get you. And you and this wonderful relationship that we have, fuck you. If you're not paying me, I'm arresting you. And you're a criminal. You're a pirate. And my conclusion is that that's absolutely false. And my conclusion is that people don't want to buy bad music anymore. And for years and years and years and years, kids would get tricked into buying bad music because they couldn't hear the fucking music before they bought it. And they would hear the one single that was hot, and they would run out and buy the music, and there'd be like 2 songs on the record, and they had spent $13. And times are hard, man. People don't have money to spend on bad music anymore. So, you know, for me, it's like, it's motivation. It's like, look, make the fucking record the best record you possibly can. So yeah, you know, it's like that's how I feel about it. I think that if the artists and the record labels were going